Hi everyone, I'm Sandy and I am a writer from Australia. I also work in wildlife conservation. Very fortunate to work with a small team, and I'm a mum, which I'm very proud of my son and my beautiful little family, extended family as well. So today I wanted to ponder the question that I had as a kid, that my son had as a kid as well. So, did you ever think to yourself when you were a kid, I wonder if anyone can hear my thoughts? Well, it's something that I considered and then it kind of went away, right, over time. But as I've become an adult and evolving and researching law of attraction, law of assumption, understanding who I am, listening to my intuition, over the years, especially having time off from work and from to be a little bit more still, not so busy every single day, although now I've gone back to that kind of, and also from having the head injury recently, the realization is that because everyone is energy, right, and every thought is energy, right, well, every thing that we're thinking a lot kind of holds a lot of energy, right? So if you look kind of back at your life and you think of any circumstances you had, for example, when people, let's just take if someone judged you for something, for example, or criticized your work or something like that, right? A situation, whether you were bullied or whether it was just a one-off comment or it was a full-on, situation that was really hard, etc. I can think of times in my life, and I've done this for myself, and I do this quite often because I want to evolve as a person and I want to be flowing even more in my life, right? So I realized that the times when I've had bullies as a kid growing up, and I wasn't really aware of, well, I definitely wasn't aware of this because otherwise I would have stopped it, is that internally I had beliefs about myself, not being worthy, not being enough, that my voice didn't matter, that people didn't like me. That one there, it's really not helpful because that attracts all the bullies. Now, I'm not saying everyone is a bully. I'm saying it attracts the energy. So you have a thing where people don't like you or people don't see you, so you are invisible, or people aren't going to understand you. Well, then you'll attract people who are on that energy, on that wavelength. So when we talk about law of assumption, law of attraction, often people talk about law of assumption and they forget about law of attraction because a belief, an assumption is energy as well. And so it was often like a clash between the different ideas and different concepts, right? But anyway, if you think about it, when you're emitting an energy based on what you're constantly or consistently feeling or believing, you're going to attract someone who's going to reflect that. Now, whether it's attracting someone who is going to start belittling you and saying shitty stuff to you, and you just say they're an arsehole and you get rid of them out of your life or never see them again. But there'll be other people no matter where you go, because if you still keep that energy, it's just going to keep reflecting, right? So it's why you can look back at your life, and if you've had certain situations that no matter where you've been, whether it's in a relationship, work environment, or home environment, and no matter where you go, or even with friends, you're finding the same thing, then it's got to work on yourself, and you've got to change your internal thoughts, your internal state about who you are and what you believe yourself to be. A lot of people say, who are you? Who do you say you are? And that's really important. Because if you see yourself as a confident, beautiful, wonderful being that is doing amazing work and is learning from their experiences and growing, and if you see yourself in an abundant state, money comes to you easily, you have wonderful relationships, people love to respect and they trust you and they honor you, They value your time and energy like you do for them. If you see that in yourself and you see that in others, and people are kind to you and you're kind to them, and you have that energy consistently circling around your mind, and that's just who you are, it's the most natural thing in the world, then that's what you're attracting. But the thing is, we attract both. We attract everything. So, energy, the universe, God, whatever, doesn't know the difference between whether something's heavy or light. We can be attracting all kinds of weird and wonderful circumstances that are not peaceful and happy and enjoyable, but that's our own creation, right? So yeah, I just wanted to raise this fact that in essence, really, it's kind of like our thoughts, or at least our most dominant thoughts, because we always have fleeting thoughts that may not have any relation to anything, but when you've got those dominant thoughts that you can think of from years ago that are still there, those are the ones that are creating, that are bringing those people, those shitty people into your life. Once you change that, those shitty people will either transform or they just won't be there. Now, we still also have amazing people in our life that never criticize us, that never reflect that part of ourselves. And I think that's because we also have a belief that that person is our best friend. That person would never say that kind of thing. And that's normal for us too. So really, it's about analyzing and going back and thinking, what did I actually create, and how do I want to create it differently? You don't have to do that. It's just something I do because I feel that makes me a better person. And I don't blame people like I used to when I see and I know people have said something to me or done something that I didn't feel was nice and was disrespectful. I now know when I look back that I'm actually the source of that. And I'm not the source of them saying it, but I'm the source of them coming into my world to say that thing, to remind me what I'm actually still holding in myself that is fear-based. Just my thoughts for today. Sending lots of love and wishing you all the very best.